All right, what's up, guys? We're back. We're gonna post another video, and you guys are gonna maybe not like this one that much, but I wanted to tell you that there's no shortcuts to power in this world that we live in right now. I'm in the same spot. I'm just recording another video for you guys, and the story today, the moral of the story is there is no shortcut to power. Okay, there's no alternative path. There is no easy path. There is no let me have the time by doing this or doing that. Now, of course, you can have certain things like mentors and stuff like that that might help you get closer and closer, but there is no shortcut. You will not wake up tomorrow and be all powerful or all successful or rich or whatever. It does not work like that. Okay, and if you believe that, then believe it. If you think that you can wake up tomorrow with riches beyond your own imagination and everything will be okay, believe it. That's fine. That's okay. That's good for you. Okay? But that's not how life works. You have to build yourself up. You have to build yourself up, or what will eventually happen, it will all be taken away from you. Because when good things happen like that, and when good things happen in that magnitude to people, oftentimes bad things start to happen to them. So they lose touch with reality. And then when they lose touch with reality, they become suicidal. And maybe they eventually kill themselves. So is it all that much luck? No. But there is no shortcut to any type of power whatsoever. If you want to be a master of the mind, you have to study the game of the mind. If you want to be rich and successful, you have to struggle and find ways and fail and find more ways to become rich and successful. There is no shortcut. Power is an elusive thing, and it's really a concept of the mind. Actually, this has nothing to do with what I just said about power being elusive, which is true, right? Power consistently is moving and is moving in and out of people's grasp. Trump is in power right now. He's eventually going to lose his power unless he decides he wants to be a dictator, right? But eventually he will die and he will lose his power. But the reality is that it's a concept of the mind, right? The mind wants comfort. The mind wants a shortcut. The mind always wants to go from point A to point B in a shorter amount of time than it takes, right? But that's not how it works in life, right? When it comes to our reality, when it comes to the world in which we live in right now, there is no shortcut. You have to go the path and you have to live it. You have to struggle so that you can become wiser as an individual. You must struggle. These things are good for you. These things will build you up. When you take shortcuts to power, you lack the character. When you take shortcuts to become successful, you don't have, or you're not the right person for the job. Okay? Let's say you bought a stock today, and tomorrow your stock was worth over $100,000. Let's just say that. And you had over $1 million in your pocket that you could have stashed, right? You eventually become out of touch with reality, like I said before, but you're not the person for that money. That money doesn't belong to you. That money isn't yours because you don't earn it. You don't have the identity that should be paired with the money. When you make $100,000 from your struggle and your toil, that money is worth something. That money has more value. You become someone special who deserves that money, who took time and effort out of his day to make that money. But when you get it easy, you're not the right person. You view the world differently. And that's what I'm trying to say. But that's just the path. The path to power is a long and grueling path. And there is no shortcuts. Think about it. Alexander the Great, right? It's one of my favorite characters in history. Alexander the Great. Or even better, Napoleon, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great did not just become prince just because. Like, he did not become king just because. He kind of had to earn it, right? And when he was a child, right? When he was a child, he was in the group of individuals with his family, with friends, with people who were friends with his father, who worked with his father, who was the king of Macedonia. What happened was that they were trying to conquer a horse, right? An untamable horse, a horse that no one could conquer. And it was thought that whoever could conquer this horse could conquer the world. Alexander, he came and saw that the horse, he used his brain, right? He saw that the horse was struggling. The horse was in conflict with itself. And he realized that the horse was afraid of its shadow. So he turned the horse around, right? But in the eyes of everyone else, he deserves to be king because he had the makings of a king. There are many other instances. It took multiple battles for Alexander the Great to become Alexander the Great. It took multiple conquering. He had to conquer multiple nations in order for him to be Alexander the Great. Napoleon, an even better example. Napoleon went from not necessarily rags, but from like medium in between, middle class, to the Emperor of France. Come on, guys. It's just what it is. There's no shortcuts to success. Napoleon had to become a super good general, a tactician when it comes to war, a master at war, in order to eventually become in some position of power, and then eventually become the emperor. And then he still went on to continue battling just to etch his name in history. There's no shortcuts to power. There's no shortcuts in this game. It's one path or the other. You either do it the hard way or you don't do it at all. Now, of course, you can minimize the risk, but that's still not a shortcut. Playing it smart is different from just voiding all risk completely. Risk makes you into who you are. Risk makes you into the person you need to become. Okay? And it's essential. In the future, we're going to have many people who will take shortcuts to power, and they will all fail and be crushed by the people who are complete savages. When there's a person, Dana White, if you know Dana White from the UFC, you might know what he said before. He said, in this world, if you're just a little bit of a savage, you can run over everyone. Everyone wants a shortcut. Everyone wants the easy way, because in our minds, we are programmed by everything. We're brainwashed into believing that we want the comfort, that we want to be sedated 24/7. And I'm telling you that you don't want to be sedated 24/7. You want to go the hard path. If you see that there's stairs and an escalator, you go on the escalator instead of the stairs, when the stairs might help you burn some calories. Now, excuse my French. I shouldn't be cursing. But the stairs might help you burn some calories and might help you get to your physique goals. You might be fat, and then you go up the escalator or the elevator instead of walking the multiple stairs that you could do and get a little bit of a sweat in. That would be better for you, right? You would get more powerful, more attractive. You would look better. You would have a better physique. You would have more energy. You won't get exhausted from going up the stairs in your house because you do it every day and you start feeling more healthier. But people aren't like that. People want the shortcut. People want the easy way. Instead of walking to work, what do? We have cars. Instead of using horses, what do? We have cars. Instead of eating healthy, what do? We eat not healthy. We eat junk food. We eat trash. Okay? Why? Because it's convenient. Why do we go to fast food? Why? Because it's convenient. Okay? And that's the shortcut. And eventually what ends up happening is you get, that's the truth, right? This is the perfect example. Now, this just came off the top of my head, right? Now, we'll use that as an example. The normal individual, I think roughly 75% of the population, or maybe it's a little bit less, or 43%, 43 or 75, I don't remember which number it is, but a good chunk of the population is obese. And the reason they're obese is because they don't want to cook at home. Now, women especially are like this. The modern woman does not want to cook, okay? The modern woman does not want to make food at home and is lazy. Okay? Now, there are model women, there are outstanding women who are not like this, and they're good women, of course. But even I can cook, right? Even I enjoy cooking for myself and putting good stuff into myself. Today, I spent like $150 on my groceries, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to make a nice steak, right? A nice steak. Blue Rare, if you want to know. Blue Rare, that's how I eat my steaks. Blue Rare, okay? But the idea of cooking has become so out of touch with people that because we have now the easy option. You can go to the store and get a pre-made meal, or you can go to the restaurant next to you and get food made for you, or you can go to McDonald's and eat food that's made in a minute. Come on, guys. But what happens when you do that consistently? You get sick, you get fat, right? You lose touch with your health. You start going to the doctor more often, and then those are the consequences. So the shortcut to power oftentimes has a chaotic path leading at the end, right? It's the calm before the storm. You're living in the calm and ignoring the storm that's going to come, right? Everything is easy now, but you're not looking into the future. You're not 5 steps ahead. This is why chess is so important for you to understand. You want to be 5 steps ahead. You want to be 5 steps ahead. You want to be looking into the future and seeing that if I take this option today, if I eat this fast food today, how will that affect my health in the future? How will that affect my habit response? How would that affect my ability to lose weight if I continue this process? Because that's the shortcut to power. Now, it doesn't just have to be power. It's just a shortcut in general. People oftentimes take the easiest option. And I'm telling you that the easiest option is not always the best option. So choose the harder, more complicated option because it's better for you. It makes you into a stronger individual. It gives you more character. So choose the hard path and you'll have a different perspective on life, right? There's a thing, I'm going to end it right here, but there's a thing where I've heard this multiple times where there used to be a passage for a thing that proves men to become men, right? Like there was some hardship that they would do, like the Spartans, right? The Spartans would go through this grueling process of training to become super strong warriors. But we don't have that today. We don't have that as much today, right? Everyone is more or less just the same and is sedated and is doing super easy things, right? And life is good, especially in America. Life is good and life is not hard. So we ignore this fact and everyone becomes lazy. Everyone becomes fat. Everyone becomes weak, right? And that eventually will crumble the society that we live in. So ignore the shortcut to power and take the harder option. Secure yourself by becoming the person that deserves the power. Don't just opt in for the easy option. Take the hard option so you deserve it, right? The hard option means you deserve it. I won't question you if you take the hard option because that means you earned it. It didn't take a month. It didn't take a year. It took you time. Mastery doesn't happen in a day. Mastery doesn't happen in a few months or in a year. It takes years to become a master. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. If you understand that concept, it might help you. It might not. Who knows? Okay? But yeah, there is no shortcut to power. And if you want to be powerful, if you want to be rich or successful, you can't just take the easy option. The easy option will make you have less character and make you have less resolve and make your values weaker. And the money won't even be worth it as much because it was so easy. But yeah, opt in for the hard option because the hard option will make you into a real person, a real man or real woman. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys. I'm gonna head home because I'm hungry and I need to eat my steak, my glorious steak. It's roughly a pound, and I'm gonna enjoy that. And I love you guys. We'll be back in a little bit, and maybe tomorrow I might come and I might say some words of wisdom. If you guys like this, just like and subscribe. Just do your thing. And guys, appreciate you guys for watching and spending the time on this. And yeah, see you in the next one. If you got anything like any words that what you want the next one to be talked about, let's just drop a comment and we'll talk about it. All right, guys.